Hi everybody, this is Mindwiseman's channel, aka Maverick Outdoors, and today I'm in room with a review, but actually on ground level. I'm here doing a response to a tag. I've been recently tagged by George, and his channel is JolietJake1970, and he recently tagged me in relation to 5 items that you choose to take with you with an S.H.T.F scenario. And for those of you that want the expletive, shit hits the fan scenario. And what were the 5? If you were limited to take 5 items, what would you take? So he tagged me a little while ago, and this is my response to his tag. Now, of course, we all know that the items we can take are really limitless, but it's relative to the situation and scenario you're in. So if I was an Eskimo living somewhere near the North Pole, my requirements, if I was in an S.H.T.F scenario, living in the wilderness in the snow, my requirements would be totally different to say what my actual personal requirements are now within my place of residence. I live in a reasonably rural area. I have connections with villages and nearby cities. But I don't live in a very big built up urbanised area. Now if I lived in somewhere say like London or New York, my requirements would be relative. 5 items S.H.T.F would be different to say if I was in a city environment or something like that. So my response with the 5 items are actually relative to my circumstances. So not necessarily in this order, but I'll show you the 5 items I've got. As you can see, I've got the tarp. I'll go into that in a moment. But considering I'd be in a rural area, so if I had to leave my place of residence immediately for whatever preparedness, emergency scenario, whatever it was, S.H.T.F, I know I'd want a knife for the environment that I'd be actually escaping into. This is just a simple, it's a copy of the Ramirez Woodlaw, and this is the Condor bush law knife. I'll go into the technicalities of this in another presentation, but that's just one of the items that I would take. Also, I want to be able to store, carry and procure water. Stainless steel bottle, very wide opening, I can drink out of it, I can mash up food with water, make soups in there and get access to get the food back out. As I say, I can carry water with this for storage when I'm on the move, plus I can use this for cooking as well. It's one item, but it's got 2 uses. Because the funnel comes in a little bit, I don't have to be too concerned about having a lid, because this actually does heat up whatever's in the vessel quite quickly. Water, liquids, whatever, does actually heat up quite quickly without me having to rely on this synthetic plastic lid to go on. If the opening was, say, as wide as that, admittedly it's long, but obviously the wider the space and the lower the vessel, the easier it is for the, or should I say, the more difficult it is for anything you're trying to cook or heat up to actually heat up. But this is enclosed, practical container. Stainless steel, heavy duty. I have used this even on a gas flame in my domestic cooker, but I've used this also outdoors with other bits of cooking kit. Fire steel. One thing that I'd want to be able to do is have access for warmth, to be able to cook, and also at night it would give me light within the area of the fire. But I need to have something that I can cook with, that I can actually keep warm with, and this fire steel would be my first choice. Really, these would go together. If you want us to take that off, then of course I could just have this fire steel without the actual striker. So those are 3 items. Okay. Cheating here a little bit. Okay, we're in an S.H.T.F scenario here, guys, so I think I'm entitled to bend the rules a bit. I want to survive, preparedness, survival, unexpected, first aid kit. I treat that as one item. It's got a mixture of stuff in here. I'll review this at a later date, my basic first aid kit. It's not an everyday carry as such, it's a little bit more of a higher level than that. So I'd take that with me, because I don't know how long I'm going to be away in the S.H.T.F scenario, so I'd want to know that I have some sort of medical backup. Again, my choice of wanting something like that. And then of course shelter, tarp, 3 meters by 2 meters. I can configure it in different ways, and you'll notice it has a silver lining. Okay, so that can reflect body heat if I used it as a body wrap. plus as well if I have it low down. So imagine this was a mini version of, say, an A-frame of the tarp. If it's close to me, it's going to reflect my body heat while it's actually underneath it. So I want shelter. I want one of the most important human consumable substances, water procurement. I want a tool. Some people might say, well, first choice for cutting that's quite versatile would maybe be a small hand axe. But I do want my kit to be small and compact. If I'm on the move, I can create a pocket, put this stuff in, fold it, make some cordage, carry it. So these items are relative to my situation. If I had to, S.H.T.F scenario, adapt to it where I actually live, my place of residence and environment. I know there are places, I have a number of places that I could go to, but are very rural. They also have water sources. But something else I would consider as well is if I had mode of transport that then had to be rejected or left for any emergency reason and I had to be on foot, this stuff would still get me through it as well. So that's my response to George. He reviews a lot of kit. It's all army surplus, a lot of his stuff, really down to earth, practical approach to how he talks about his kit. So go and check him out as well. His 5 items that he did, he was tagged by somebody else and then he in turn tagged me. So sorry about the delay, George, but here's my 5 items. Thanks for the tag. If you check out his 5, he goes into his philosophy behind it, because as we all know, you know, we can say, well, have a combat knife, have a fighting knife, you don't know if the zombies are going to be after you, etc, etc, etc. But I've had to adapt this to what I know is actually truthful to my situation, reflecting on it, philosophizing on it and thinking, right, what would I want? Okay, accuse me of cheating, I know, but I'd see that as an item. So again, survivalist, preparedness, so I'm going for that. So that's my response to the 5 items. I hope it's given you some ideas. Now I've got to tag 5 other people. So it could be you.